Hey guys, Mark from SolarGames. Cynthia Williams, right? So for those of you who have been messaging me, thank you so much for letting me know that Cynthia Williams has finally found a job, and we can stop, try to call the headhunters and try to help her secure a new position. She's good to go. Yeah. So I kind of missed this news actually of her getting her, job at Funko Pop. And I'm not surprised, right? So if you recall my video on Cynthia Williams when she first left Wizards, a lot of people on the internet back then were like, oh, she got fired, all this stuff, right? And to me, it didn't make any sense because, again, the company was doing super well. Her division, her arm was doing super well. So how could it be that she got fired? I mean, sure, it's fan backlash or dealing damage to the game, but none of that stuff mattered to Magic anyways. I mean, they didn't care that it was doing damage to Magic when Chris Cox, was running the ship. So why would Cynthia Williams change anything, right? If anything, she's the CEO. So all her job was to ensure like the money flowed because she's not designing cards. Cynthia Williams probably doesn't even know how to play the game, right? Realistically. So it was really a surprise when she left because, again, like I said on that last video, usually when CEOs leave, of course, no one, Chris Cox is not going to come out and say, we fired her. She sucks. Okay, fuck her. He's not going to say that, of course. You have the cordial, like, she has left the company. Thank you so much, blah, 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 right? So there's a couple things that came out at first when this came, when this news came, is like, hey, of course, it was the official, like, thank you for your service. We love you, Cynthia Williams. Good luck on your future endeavors, right? The normal corporate speak you would give. But it's pretty obvious that she left on her own accord because there was no replacement. Normally, when a CEO is leaving, whatever, or if especially when they get fired, the replacement's already lined up for them. There's a person behind them that's ready to go, that's probably going to run the company, and it's more of a, okay, so this is your, switch over. You're going to be the CEO until May 1st, and then this person will take over at that point. But then you're both kind of in the building working during April, whatever the ramp-up time is, right? This is pretty common for a lot of companies where you have an oncoming CEO that's going to replace the current CEO. Planned, right? So that's why I knew this whole thing was kind of unplanned, because how is it possible that she leaves and there's no replacement at all for her behind the scenes, right? So to me, that was like, okay, well, probably she actually got a job. She left, she quit. Like, it's Cynthia's choice, not Hasbro's choice or Chris Cox's choice. And realistically, I think that's right. Number two, I think actually she probably didn't leave on good terms. And I don't mean like she got fired and didn't leave on good terms, but maybe something more like she took a job that's better and kind of didn't tell Chris Cox or give him enough forewarning before this happened, right? And the reason I say this is because on the investor call, Chris didn't mention anything about Cynthia leaving the company. And, he said goodbyes to a bunch of like board members that were switching out and new board members who were switching in, but nothing about Cynthia Williams, your CEO of your largest, like biggest money earning division at Hasbro. To say nothing about it, it seems kind of weird on the, conference call, right? For the earnings call. So that was a good hint to me that maybe he didn't have the like proper PR, properly prepared speech to say like, here's what's going to happen, here's the plan, because it was just happening so fresh, and he didn't get the memo essentially, right? Because Cynthia's like, hey, Chris, you got like, I'm giving you my 3-week notice as a CEO. That's insane. So, and then now that it's come out that Cynthia Williams is now working at Funko Pop and took the CEO position, it's pretty obvious, right? Very likely what happened was that Cynthia's doing well, but she doesn't like, or maybe she's not jiving with certain people like Chris Cox or whoever within Hasbro or the company. And she might be like something like, hey, look, my division's making a ton of money. Y'all are losing money. This is what I would do, by the way. If I was CEO of WOTC, I'd be like, you guys are losing money. I'm making money. Fuck you. Give me all the money. Where's my bonus? Right? Of course. So she probably did something like this. Didn't really work out in her favor. Left on bad terms, and then started looking, and she found a job at Funko Pop, and they probably offered a lot of money with good stock bonus option, whatever, if she meets a certain number or criteria, PKI, these kind of metrics, right? Things for her new company, and if she meets them, right, then of course she'll get her bonus, she'll be very happy, etc. The other thing to look for, and I haven't really looked at this, is to see how much stock Cynthia was selling of Hasbro as she was transitioning out. Usually that's a good sign of like, hey, I don't have a lot of faith. I'm about to leave anyway, so I'm going to exit my position. So that's probably something to look at as well. But beyond that, look, honestly, congratulations to Cynthia. She probably will have a great time at Funko Pop. And the realistic thing is, like, at least at Wizard of the Coast, it's a game, not just collectible only. Now she's fully into the collectible thing. Expect lots of collaboration between Funko Pop and everything else, because that's what, universes beyond Funko Pop, basically, right? But realistically, yeah, she did a good job, I'm sure. Like, we don't like it. We as players probably felt like, it was not good for the game. The universes beyond thing, the overselling, the like pimping out Magic, like the slut thing about Magic is not cool. But for her, for the company, for revenues, and for certain people, players of Magic, it was awesome, right? It was awesome that she was pushing for all these ways, creative ways to expand the game, expand the player base. So that's not necessarily a bad thing either. So looking from that perspective, like maybe we should have never really been expecting much more than that. And Cynthia Williams, honestly, like for the investors, for the people who cared about it, she did a good job. She kept Hasbro afloat. Imagine this, right? She comes in the Wizard of the Coast, the only division making money, and she starts doing whatever her bullshit is, and then suddenly Wizard of the Coast starts losing money. That would be way worse, right? That didn't happen under her leadership, so I would say that's good. And under her leadership, Wizard of the Coast maintained their year-over-year earnings, and I would say even improved a little bit. So there's no way she got fired, and this is why I maintain even today, right after this whole news about Funko Pop, I think it reaffirms my original theory that she never got fired. She was not let go. Players' goodwill, ruining Hasbro or WOTC's reputation, that's all bullshit. They don't care about that. They care about making money. See, there is no earnings call for the Magic players, right? Chris Cox doesn't have to sit in front of all the D&D players and Critical Role, whoever, and say, I'm sorry, we did this thing to you guys. No. All he has to do is sit next to the Wall Street guys and say, hey, Jim, how's your dog? Oh, hey, Sarah, I heard you had a new kid. Are you just gonna invest in our company a little more and put in like a couple $1 billion into Hasbro stock? That's all he cares about, right? They don't care about like your game and how you like it. Of course, if him caring about your game makes him more money, then he will. But you know what actually makes more money for Chris Cox? Warhammer Magic the Gathering. Wizard of Oz Magic the Gathering. Marvel Magic the Gathering. Final Fantasy, right? This Fallout. Like, just take some random IP that's like, I don't know, has a bunch of gamers who have money who can put into a collectible, put them into Magic. That's how he makes more money. And that's what they did. And so another proof, by the way, that Cynthia wasn't fired is if you think that this whole Universes Beyond thing was Cynthia's idea and it's a bad idea and it's players' goodwill, whatever, right? Her leaving, we should stop Universes Beyond, right? But I guarantee you, not only are we not going to stop Universes Beyond, it's going to get accelerated because Magic players play Commander. Commander players love identity. Commander players love extra, IPs from other things. So guaranteed that Universes Beyond will continue. There will be a flood of Commander products. Commander is going to be in everything we do. None of that's going to change, right? The only thing that might have changed a little bit is print runs. And as soon as people start having confidence in Magic again, the print runs will go up again. We're not going to be at this point of like low print runs forever. It's going to go back up again as soon as they feel like they can start milking the market. And that's the reality. So that's going to do it for me for today. I'm Mark from Solar Games. I'll see you next time. Stay classy.